Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating dilemma directly from the MegaGoal 2.2 curriculum. We're looking at Unit 12, titled What Would You Do? Specifically, we're diving into a conversation and listening case study about navigating those, well, really uncomfortable situations in life. You know the ones. Those moments where you're caught in a tough spot, maybe dealing with a little workplace drama, and you need exactly the right words to figure it all out. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the case studies, take a second and reflect on your own life. Do your friends give you good advice? Seriously, think about who you turn to when things hit the fan, you have a massive problem, and you just cannot decide what to do. We've all got that one person, right? That trusted sounding board who helps us see things clearly when our own judgment is totally clouded. Well, in today's explainer, we're going to look at exactly that kind of dynamic between two colleagues. Okay, let's jump right into this. Meet Khaled and Majid. For the purpose of this explainer, we're going to treat their conversation like a real-world case study. So Khaled and Majid, they aren't just friends, they're coworkers. And Khaled has come to Majid seeking advice on a very serious, highly stressful problem he is currently facing at work. Let's lay out the facts of this heavy dilemma step by step just so we really understand the tension here. Step 1, Khaled notices another coworker, a young boy, stealing clothes. And look, this isn't some simple misunderstanding. It is clear, flat-out theft. Step 2, Khaled realizes a pretty harsh truth. If this coworker has stolen twice before, which, by the way, he has, Khaled absolutely cannot trust him. He's thinking, man, he might even steal from the cash register next. And finally, step 3, which is really the crux of our dilemma today. Khaled struggles immensely with whether or not to tell the manager. He is entirely unsure of what to do. He's totally caught between not wanting to cause trouble and knowing that ignoring a crime is, well, just wrong. Now, what's genuinely fascinating is how this conversation actually plays out. We get to see, step by step, how Majid delivers his perspective on this thieving coworker. Notice how Majid doesn't just bark orders at Khaled. He really listens. Khaled expresses his doubts, saying things like, I wouldn't put it past him when talking about future thefts. And then Majid steps up to offer honest, direct advice. He acts as that clear voice of reason that Khaled so desperately needs in this high-stakes moment. So, the climax of the conversation comes with this quote. It seems to me that you may get yourself in trouble if you don't blow the whistle on him. That's from Majid. I want to highlight that specific phrase, blow the whistle. This is a classic idiom meaning to report wrongdoing to the authorities, in this case, the manager. Majid solves Khaled's problem by laying out the consequences crystal clear. He's essentially saying, look, if you stay quiet and the manager finds out you knew about the stealing, you become an accomplice. He then gracefully adds, of course, it's your call, but if I were you, I would let the manager know. It's just a powerful, brilliant resolution to a really tense situation. And that brings us to our next focus, how to give opinions, exploring the linguistic toolkit. So let's break down the exact phrases for giving an opinion, drawn directly from their conversation. We've got expressions like, in my opinion, I feel, or I believe. We also have, as far as I'm concerned, the way I see it seems to me that, and I would think or say that. Now, these specific expressions are incredibly useful to have in your back pocket. Why? Because they clearly signal to your listener that what you're about to say is your personal perspective. It's an opinion, right? Not a hard objective fact. Using these phrases, just like Majid did when he said, it seems to me that, actually softens the advice. It makes the listener, Khaled in this case, way more receptive to hearing a hard truth, rather than feeling attacked or judged. So now I'm turning this over to you. It's your call. What would you do? I really want you to challenge yourself right now. Put yourself in Khaled's shoes. Would you stay quiet, hoping the problem just magically goes away, or would you blow the whistle? And more importantly, use your new vocabulary toolkit to frame your answer. Practice saying it out loud. The way I see it, I would. Or, as far as I'm concerned, the right thing to do is actually applying these conversational frameworks is exactly how you master the language. As a quick homework reminder, to solidify the conversational strategies we've learned today, go ahead and tackle workbook page 345, exercise E. It really is the absolute best way to make sure this crucial vocabulary sticks. But as you do that, I want to leave you with one final thought. Having the right vocabulary absolutely makes you a clearer, more effective communicator. But does having the courage to speak the hard truth make you a better friend? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.